We agreed that we wanted to act in mutual agreement, that no single country ought to be outvoted. This is what we've agreed. We've done this on earlier occasions too. So the matter might be brought to the attention of the Council if need be. That was an important element of our agreement, of our discussions, and I think that we have reached a good agreement. It wasn't really difficult to reach that agreement. It was a kind of pragmatic discussion and a pragmatic solution. Now, as regards the decision to be taken on the request submitted by the Chinese consortium, no decisions have yet been taken. Questions have to be clarified, as is the usual case in such circumstances. And this is what procedures demand when requests are being submitted. Your question seems to be pointing at the fact that the matter is not following usual procedures. We're not talking the port being sold off here, as in other cases. We are talking about a possible stake in one terminal. And we have similar situations in some Western German ports. And we're talking about just one terminal of a very large port. But no decisions have been taken yet. AFP. Microphone, please. Microphone, please. My question links up to what my colleague said. From your point of view, you said matters still need to be reviewed. Do you think it's, generally speaking, a good idea to sell off part of that port, viewed against the background that you once were the Lord Mayor of Hamburg? The French president now says that he offered to you to visit China together with you, bringing a business delegation with you. Did you talk about this, or do you plan to talk about this next week? What would your position be? Well, thank you for your question, because you know what your colleague didn't do? You spoke of the sale of the port. We're not talking about the sale of a port. We have a long-standing tradition here, and I can report from my own experiences in Hamburg. The Hamburg port, by and large, belongs to the city of Hamburg, the Hamburg Port Authority. We would never dream of selling such an area. It will not happen. We always try to enhance that area and to increase the size of it. That is what makes this port so special. You have people who rent areas on that major area, operators of terminals, people who do different things there. And thus, it has always been very important to me, when I held a different office at the time, to invite the ministers of transport of Germany. I believe that someone who has not grown up in Hamburg has the slightest idea of the size of the port of Hamburg, and is in a position to assess what part of that port area might actually be all about, and how big or how small the proportions would be. Now, as far as this concrete case is concerned, I said, and what I had to say, I said a request has been submitted, and it will be carefully reviewed by the authorities. No microphone.